Welcome to MES e-learning channel. In the last session, we discussed about drama and how it can be used in the classroom. In this session, we are going to see how some of the educators have spoken about how drama is to be incorporated or the importance of drama in education and also in the classroom. Now here we have Freire, a very well-known educator as well as an activist. He is a Brazilian person. He is known for his book Pedagogy of the Oppressed. In fact, he speaks about the way in which we are educating children. We need to constructively and critically look at how we are educating our children. Because according to Freire, education is not really changing the mind of students. If you look the world around, even if you see all those educated nations, why is there so much of inequality? Why is there so much of suppression of people? Why are people still unhappy? Somehow he feels that to a great extent it is education that is perpetuating all this. In fact, according to Freire, he feels that education is perpetuating the already existing social ills or the already existing distinctions of exclusion, the distinctions of division or based on money or status and things like that. So he feels that there is a need for a radical thinking regarding education, and that's why he says that education is not going to change the world, it's people who will change the world. So he felt that education has to change the society to make it a better one. How can that be done? Now, one of the techniques that he suggested, of course, was drama in his teaching pedagogy. He felt that through drama, people will be able to express their feelings and point out those things which need not be accepted so blindly and without any opposition. He was totally against the traditional mode of teaching, which he called it as the banking system, wherein the child was taught to be an account holder in a bank, and the job of the teacher was to deposit knowledge in the child's head. He was totally against that. He said that education is not about putting some information into the child's head. Especially in today's world, you know that information is available everywhere. You don't need the teacher to put in that information. What is needed is to develop that critical thinking in the child as to how we can change things around us which are unnecessary. How a child is taught to think critically, to challenge the situations that the world is facing today. That is what he felt was the aim of education. And in that process, there were different techniques that he advised, and in that, you can say that drama was a very important aspect of that. Of course, dialogue, he said that education is, should be done through dialogue. It is through development of dialogue. And classrooms should be, filled with debates and dialogues. Classrooms should never be teacher center where teacher is giving information. And in that process, drama is also one of the important aspects or one of the important techniques that can be used. So Freire believed that the formal education or the traditional education that the child is getting, that is not empowering the child. Rather, that is making the child a slave to the existing system. So education should empower the child, it should make him strong. It should make him oppose those oppressive social patterns that is there in the society. So education is to eradicate all this oppression, not to maintain status quo. That is what Freire actually emphasized upon. And he felt that human beings, we are different from other creatures. That's because we are vocal. We cannot be silent. Human existence itself is, you could say, a challenge in the society. That challenge should be taken up by education. So humans are evolving, socially we are evolving through the periods, and this evolution can only happen through education, through dialogue, through debates, etc. It need not go into violent conflicts or other things, but then human beings should be challenged to speak out, should be challenged to express their views, and this is what education should skill them for. Now, in this book, Pedagogy of the Oppressed, which is, it's a very small book. I think if you come across it, you must read it. It gives us, you could say a structure of how education needs to be, how education needs to create this, it is actually a natural feeling of human beings to challenge the oppression that is there. And how drama can be used. Drama is a powerful medium of expression. Drama helps people to come out with their ideas as to what is happening. It actually, lays open the existing conditions, what is happening in the present world today. It also, along with that, it also comes out with how do we deal with this? What are the inequalities that we are facing? What is the kind of oppression that people are facing? Different sections of people are facing different sections of oppression. So how this critical reflection needs to be developed in the student. A critical identity needs to be developed in the student. So there is critical pedagogy, that was his contribution to education in fact. Critical pedagogy is developing the critical thinking in students. So how to create this change? How to create that critical challenge in the human beings? It is only through, according to Freire, education and dialogue, they should go hand in hand. And teacher and the taught, they are co-partners in developing the knowledge. Knowledge is not something that is to be deposited. Knowledge is something that is to be developed in the classroom. And if it has to be developed in the classroom, it has to be participative in nature. It has to be active in nature. It should have the participation of both the teacher and the taught. And for that, the technique of drama is an very important, way of doing. So the technique of drama is useful in bringing out that particular challenge of creating the, critical thinking and creating a critical attitude towards what you see in and around your life. So drama and theatre can provide a safe environment. See what happens when we are challenging the society in general. It can actually move on to activism. Activism can move on to violent activism. So Freire was not actually, he was not promoting any kind of violent activism. But of course, he said that teachers are also activists. Students also need to become activists for something positive, but in a non-violent way. So when there is a classroom dialogue, when students are able to express, actually it is their emotions that is coming out. And when you are able to give out those emotions, you are not only expressing yourself, but you are also finding ways in which how to deal with issues. So the voice, so through drama what happens is the voice of everyone is included. Now when we are talking about drama, people think only about theatre and audience, not necessary. Even in a classroom, you can have a drama being enacted by groups of students. It need not require all the props and costumes and stage and other things. Even without that, the teachers can perform these activities in the class. What is important is the focus on the expression and the delivery of the students. Now, drama helps students and the teachers, I must say, the education, the field of education, to understand the various concepts, to understand why inequality, to understand the importance of teamwork, to understand what is cooperation or what is coordination, how people deal with data. There is so much of information available. How is this information to be converted into knowledge and wisdom or into actual use? How the universe functions? What is the role of the individual in the universe? There are so many things, there are so many forces that shape us. What are those forces that is actually having an impact on our life? And what kind of impact is it having on us? Is it a positive impact or is it a negative impact? So, drama gives us an opportunity to explore all these areas. So, though through drama students can develop self-confidence, students can develop a critical thinking, and students can understand what shapes their life, what shapes the society in which they are living, and perhaps it also gives them a direction to what shape you want your society to be. There is also something known as what you would consider to be an ideal society, isn't it? So, that is also developed through this continuous process of dialogue, and one of the techniques being drama. That is why he gave importance to drama, how social change can be brought about. The socio-cultural evolution, he said that always society is keeping on changing. But what is good for us, what is not good for us? What is the alteration that is happening in the society that is going to affect us? The social changes of social institutions, social behaviors, social relationships that is happening. If you look into the past, we see so many things. Rather than having a teacher stand here and explain all this, it would be better to have the students explore and express in their own ways. That makes it more clearer to the child, and that makes the child a participant in the process of this whole issue. So, here we see that Paulo Freire has given the importance to drama, and how drama is an important aspect, especially when it comes to challenging the situations that we are living in, and how drama will add positively to the kind of social change that we aspire for. Hope you all have enjoyed this lesson. Thank you, students.